this is James's wonderful meal for today. And there's some Evans cherries off of our tomato trees. We're going to talk about Silent Witness and the rest of these things in the stack. And I just put this chair over right side up. It was upside down so that the rain wouldn't get on it. And there's all these little insects here, but they're asleep. And some of them, when they woke up, they went, "Where in the world am I?" And they went running around, right? But I don't know. I don't know what they are. So there's James standing beside his sunflowers. So he's showing that they're very much taller than him now. And
as tall as basketball players.
yeah. And after, like I didn't come here for a week to tuck the tomato stems in, but you can see I have lost control of this garden. It is now a jungle, and there's many stems here that I can't possibly tuck back in. They're so big, but I don't know if it really matters anymore, because there's some that, even this one, it was tucked in, but it decided it wanted to grow that way anyway. And there's some over there that they're all over the place. I did manage to tie some of these back up to where they're supposed to be. Mulch helps. so the mulch area is still in control. And this area, you can hardly even see the rows past through the tomatoes. But I like, some of these are just incredible. There are lots and lots of tomatoes on this plant and very few leaves. And look at the basil. It's still doing fine. I don't know how, but all the basil plants, you can look in there, there's another one, doing just great.
That much sunshine.
Apparently no, because they're doing just fine. So yeah, that's a bit of a revelation. I really didn't think that the basil would do well after the tomatoes grew up so big. So anyway, yeah, that's our stack, and I guess we'll be getting into more music stuff now.
Because hopefully we'll be using them on trips.
Yes.
Pauline becomes something like my chauffeur.
Yes.
And I sit in the back and watch various music videos.
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to stand watching a regular sort of show, because sometimes I prefer, I've never gotten to the point where I was getting motion sick, but I prefer, yeah, sorry about that. I
No?
got most standing water around here.
That's okay. Get some of that.
I prefer to take my eye off what's happening on the screen and just try to check the horizon. They say that's what to do if you are prone to motion sickness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not nearly as susceptible as Pauline is, but
I
you're not
wouldn't
as
be able to
susceptible
watch
as...
the TV like he does.
Yep.
So that's
I never
fine.
thought I'd be able to.
Okay.
But
So anyway,
When
it's
I
just
was
kind of a
younger.
bonus for us to have a vehicle that it was fully loaded when it was new, and some of the fully loaded features still work, like that DVD player. So that's really cool. So anyway, I put Silent Witness Season 25 on the top of the stack. I don't know how James felt about it, but I really liked that they brought Sam back in for the
that
season.
was kind of interesting.
Yeah. So.
She knows what to do on screen.
And really,
She wasn't picked for her looks, but
I think she's lovely.
I know, but what would the average person think?
But honestly,
Anyway.
I think that they had to bring her back in. I don't know what made them decide to get rid of Thomas. Maybe he just had enough of it, and he's like, I'm moving, or whatever. Who knows? Maybe his wife was a politician, and she had better offers somewhere else or something. I don't know what happened to the actor who played Thomas, but I really liked him. I don't know why they wrote him off the show.
Maybe,
So-
like you say, he wrote himself off.
Maybe so. I'm not sure. But anyway, so he's not in this season, of course. And they had to do something. They had to bring in somebody. They don't have, what's her name? Is it Clarice? I think that's the woman, the frail-looking woman in the wheelchair.
That's a real loss. I'm telling you, Clarice, if
Totally.
you're still out there,
She was
keep
the
it
best
together.
character that they had
Yeah,
in the show.
very interesting.
Very good character. So, but you know, James and I were figuring it must have been something like her health or something, that maybe she just couldn't do it anymore. So because I don't know why
They-
any sane person would get rid of her off the show. She was just too good. So I think they handled losing those awesome characters well by bringing Sam back in for this season. Because what do you do, right? What could they have done otherwise? And that's a problem with some seasons afterwards, because they don't have Sam, and she was good. And they don't have because honestly, like James says, Nikki, everyone loves her, but maybe she's picked a little bit more for her looks or something like that, right?
Could be. I don't think of her as a lousy actor.
No, not lousy
Generally.
at all. But, and
Good-looking actors in England, up until recently, had good stage experience. They actually knew what to do.
But there's some things about the show that James and I both, I mean, I gave it top of the stack, and you know that I like watching it. So, but I'll say that both of us, we figure it's a little bit too CSI Miami-ish in the way that, I mean, luckily they don't
Like
have
us.
Horatio Caine as one of the,
Was that his name? He was a real
Yes,
pain in the neck.
and anyway, I think that was his name. But he was
That's
just
hilarious.
awful.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was. I felt embarrassed for him just watching him. Anyway,
I presume
So-
you're talking about the idiot who was on CSI Miami.
yes, that's who
The
it-
one I didn't like was almost as much was the New York guy.
Oh, I liked him all right. I thought he
I don't-
actually seemed
Yeah, but he was
believable.
policeable. Anyway, he was playing a tough guy police role. I preferred Grissom.
Oh, of course.
Because
Yeah.
I've seen guys, I've worked with people like that.
And that's the
At
thing
a
is I
cop
want to
shop
see
doing
more
that stuff, they were-
like I want to see more Grissom-like stuff. I don't want to see them out, playing detective and stuff like that. And I guess you kind of have the excuse in this that they're not really police. They're working for the Lyle Institute, which is
At a university.
yeah, more like a university kind of thing than, so it's more private than police-ish. I don't know. So there's
it's
this
at
disconnect,
Oxford, right,
that-
or something
huh?
like that. It's at Oxford.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, I wouldn't necessarily call it private, but it's not police.
It's not police anyway.
And they make that point.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I like the best about the show. The police are dumb. Now,
Well, not all of them, but majority. They don't portray the police officers in the best light in this show. So, anyway, I liked that there was an interesting story that went through the whole season in this one. And so that's a bit different. Usually you have, with the silent witness things, it's two episodes make up one story, basically. And the story
But-
continues along the way, right?
sometimes they
but-
got overlap. Like that story will be running here, and then another story will be running here.
Yeah.
Another story running here,
Mhm.
which is like it would be in real life.
So that makes it more interesting too. But I like that there was one major story throughout this whole thing that they were going after. But having said that, this season is only 6 episodes long. So they kind of ripped off the viewer that way.
Well, maybe it's the last season. We only
No.
got- Oh, really?
Nope. So
Well, that's bizarre.
yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if I should talk about what happened in the season. It was, I guess I could a little bit of a spoiler alert here. It's about, sorry. It's about some geneticists who've managed to make something that you can take skin cells and make them revert back to stem cells, and then make them become any kind of, being stem cells, they could be anything. So that's kind of interesting. But then I didn't like the way they said, oh, well, we can't, this has the potential for being bad or whatever, being used badly, so we can't have it. Well, nope, you're just going to have to find a way to work with it or whatever. Like they're saying, forensic science as we know it is, if this gets out into the world, then forensic science as we know it is done. And it's like, well, no,
They'll
it
find
just
other
changes.
ways of dealing with
exactly. You know, that's you don't you don't squash down new ideas that are revolutionary just because it doesn't fit what you're working with today. You don't advance that way. We
Most
don't
of the
advance
people
it
that'd be
aside.
doing crimes wouldn't be that sophisticated.
So I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that message in this. It's like, oh no, well, let's stay back in the Stone Ages because, you know, whatever. It's just ridiculous. But that's honestly, that's the way university types often are. They want to hold back progress because, well, they're not the big shots anymore if they're having to learn new things, right? They want to stay the top of their field, and to do that they have to keep things the way they are.
Yeah, because they're not actually good at learning.
Yeah.
They can't learn a variety of different things and say which is which, mixing and matching.
Yeah. So anyway, Control. Now, James liked this more than I did. I expected to like this more than I did. It's the tragic tale of the singer of Joy Division. So, I like Joy Division.
You've seen pictures of the lead singer? Does it look something
No, I have no idea what it
Okay, there we go.
So,
but you liked their music and
Yep.
back in the day?
Yeah. And I actually like them more than New Order. Even though New Order, the songs are catchy and everything. Who doesn't like Blue Monday? But they're just kind of, they were like, New Order, they'd have like, I don't know, a dozen mixes of one song or whatever. Okay, it was just, this felt a little more real to me than, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe you like New Order. Probably do. Whatever. And I was watching this hoping that my favorite song of Joy Division's would come on, right? Because I haven't heard that since somebody copied it from their tapes onto mine, onto blank tape for me, right? Back when I was just a young teenager.
So what's that song?
Well, I could sing a bit of it, but I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
We've got 3 miles to go. At the end of the road, there's blood on the shore. At the end of the road, there's a soldier waiting for me. I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't popular.
He really was challenging channeling Jim Morrison.
Yeah. And I don't know. That song was never popular, and so whenever like I try to get Joy Division now, it's only the popular songs that are on the CD that are released on the CDs now.
That's the way they tend to be now.
It's too bad, because I was a B-sides sort of person more. So anyway, what can I say about it? It's in black and white, and it's artfully filmed. It's a little long.
How long?
2 hours, 2 minutes, which
it seemed a little long.
They should have wrapped it up in an hour and a half. There really wasn't enough story there to warrant 2 hours, 2 minutes.
He's only 23 years old when he died. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. And I don't know. Tragic tale, yeah, I suppose. Eh? But
it's always tragic when someone dies. That young. It doesn't matter how they die.
So, yeah.
I think it's extra tragic in that it seemed as though he had some talent, considering especially his age.
His age, you're right. Yeah. So had he had poetic aspirations or whatever, so he should have, had he kept at it, had his health been better, had he managed his health better, then he should have lived a long, happy life writing poetry and actually improving. So, and then
So John
he
Lennon at
could have
that
been something
time
special.
hadn't even written
A Hard Day's Night. Or
By
I
that
Wanna-
age, you mean?
By that age.
Yeah.
Or even
So-
I Want to Hold Your Hand.
So that's really the tragedy, is that he didn't get to be old enough to actually become really memorable, really, really, whatever. Anyway, the Thing. I put this one above the other Silent Witnesses. I wonder what happened to Kurt Russell.
You were wondering that,
was
and then
a
I
good
started
enough
wondering
actor,
once you
and
asked the question.
He's handsome, and even if he went bald and whatever, he'd still be handsome, right? I don't know.
I think so.
Anyway,
Small eyes though, but
he was in
great head of
everything
hair.
back at this time.
He was in so many things. I don't know how he kept track.
Yeah. So anyway, when I borrowed this from the library, I put it on hold, and it said it was released in 2022, and I was like, oh, I guess they made a new version of it or whatever, which
Okay.
they do all the time. But they didn't. This is the original.
It might have been an anniversary edition. So
Yeah,
it
they
might have
just
been
re-released it and-
1982, 40 years.
It might have been. Well, it's supposed to be. It's set in the winter of 1982. That's
There you
when
go.
this movie is set. So that's
40-year
probably what they were
Anniversary.
thinking. And it's like James said, I did jump. They made me jump, so they did
Once,
the work.
but
right?
you don't jump at movies that much anymore.
No. And I had
When we first
seen it
got
in the
together,
past,
it
but I
was
can't
incredible.
remember.
Like Pauline
I've
would
seen
say,
it.
"Okay, watch this sequence for me."
Yeah,
It
a
was
lot of
pretty
the time, 'cause
regular.
yeah, I'd hide, or I'd go in the other room. Sometimes I'd
Sometimes.
actually leave the house. If it was too scary, I'd go out and like do gardening or whatever. Come back a little while later. But anyway, so this is a sci-fi horror, and
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
yep. And so while we were watching it, James was comparing it to Alien, which it's not.
Alien came
Alien,
out before it, but
It's a better movie, and
Yeah.
that's why it kept going and going, right? Because they could make more of these, but why? And
now I'm not talking
It
about
does
Alien
start out-
1, 2, or 3.
oh, I liked Alien too.
I did too. But Alien 1 was tops because we put in all this work.
Yeah.
They got a real artist to do
Yeah.
all this sort of
Grieger.
stuff. What was the name?
H.R. Grieger.
There we go. Sounds like it. Anyway, they barely showed the alien. And what
You're
you were
right.
doing is you were magnifying what it was by your fears, by not knowing what it was. Well, Carpenter or
Yeah.
whatever,
They
John
were
Carpenter.
way too proud of their special effects in this, which you can't, when you're making a movie, you can't rely on the special effects because they don't have staying power.
Yeah.
After a while, they just look kind of silly or whatever, and
Yeah. And so there is an additional problem.
Yeah.
An alien pops up, and maybe a head is popping out of his stomach, spoiler alert, or another head out of its mouth. And they're just watching in stunned silence.
yeah.
Like what would happen is you'd start, and then if you got a flamethrower in your hand,
Yeah.
or whatever, you got a gun in your hand, you'd start firing right away. I wouldn't be sitting there, like,
In
got
awe
that now,
of
guys?
it,
If you
yeah.
got-
So
Yeah.
it did start out awesome, I have to say, because it starts out, there's this guy in a helicopter and he's shooting at it. You can't tell if it's a wolf but it's more like a husky German Shepherd cross or whatever, right? So you can't really tell. That you see this dog running, and you're like running across the Arctic snow, and there's nothing there, right? But this dog and this guy in this helicopter shooting at him, and you're like, go dog, go! You gotta get away, right? Because anybody feels that way. Everybody, you see a dog in the movie and someone's going after it, you're like, go dog, go! Because
Go, dog,
you
go,
root
and-
for the dog, right?
And where's Wick, whatever his name is?
Exactly, yeah.
To take
Where's
revenge.
John Wick to take care of this guy in the helicopter? So it starts out awesome. Everybody would feel that way. And then when the story continues, you feel kind of like, oh man, I would have killed myself, basically, because of feeling this way, not knowing going on in the story, jumping to conclusions, rooting for the dog and whatever, right? So you kind of, that works. That really works, the way it started out. It's just, and I don't know about the ending. They leave it kind of open, so you don't know whether things are going to continue or not. So they could bring this back and make another movie.
Did they ever? Do you know?
They haven't yet, as far as I know.
So 40 years down the road, John Carpenter, if you're still around, come on.
I mean, the story is open at the end. You don't know what's going to happen.
I've seen worse horror sci-fi movies.
And
Maybe
if you do bring it back, don't focus in on the special effects and go, oh yeah, I want people to... No. You want them to see very little. You want your audience to see very little of the special effects. And they have to be great, but leaving a lot to the viewer's imagination helps you, because it'll just make us more afraid. Anyway, so Silent Witness, I put these ones at the bottom. Oh, this one isn't really at the bottom because I've already seen it, so that one's just not really in the stack.
Which one was that?
Season 19. I accidentally borrowed it again. So I didn't figure out, oh, where would I put this according. I didn't do that. That's just there. So the rest I have season 26, 20, and 9. And I actually think they made Nikki look a lot better. Well, actually, all the characters from season 9 look better as they age. But like James says, he usually prefers women with long hair, but Nikki looks better with the short.
She does, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about her hair.
Nikki, the actress who plays Nikki. So, yeah, I don't know if I like the... they've brought in, for season 26 here, there's a Jewish guy. He was ex-Orthodox Jew.
Oh my God. He still has the Orthodox hair, spoiler alert,
at
or
the
something like it.
He gets a cut after a while in the season, so he has short hair later on. But I don't know. I don't know if like James said, he seems sort of like a ditz, and you don't expect that from a Jewish person.
Is that stereotyping?
So
absolutely not. The Jewish people as a nation have by comparison with any other nation, apparently the highest average IQ, and it shows. People are jealous of their success. They haven't raised their kids enough on reading books.
So what makes me disappointed in these seasons, really? Well, I don't... season 9, I didn't like the way they didn't get along very well. I liked the way Thomas, when they had Thomas in the show, he would disagree with Nikki on a lot of issues. You know, he kind of thought of her as like a bleeding heart liberal sort of thing, right? But
and there were certain
they worked together really well, and there were
where she was silly. But
yes, she does happen to be overly silly that way.
Well,
but
a lot of people wouldn't see it as silly. But.
No, but she is. So, but they still had a really great working relationship, and it was nice in the show to have differences of opinions. Whereas, it's just Nikki's always right, and here she is with some...
Or what could be worse is everyone's right, like Criminal Minds, where everyone is right. Just, here's my idea, here's you, okay.
Yeah, they're all they think exactly the same. They're like
building on each other.
Really no different characters in that show. They're all the one character. They just look different somehow.
Yeah, all artificial intelligence.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about Fahrenheit 451.
Oh my God.
You saw I didn't put this right at the bottom when I showed you, but I don't know how James would rate that. I thought the story was interesting enough. So some of these stories with the Silent Witness, what actually got this at bottom. I think this was the season when not Harry. What's the other guy's? Leo's family died. That was the worst episode I've ever seen of this show, and it should be. It could. Why do it? Why kill off his family if you're not going to make it a best episode? It was terrible. So anyway, and I don't really know what puts season 20 down this far either, because it does have Clarice in it, and I love her. She's so awesome. But
I don't know.
And the guy with the tattoos, well, he was pretty freaky, and the tattoos were great. So I don't know exactly what brought it back down that far, but something did. I don't make notes. I just go, oh yeah, that one's not as good as
Well, how could they go wrong in that one other one you mentioned with Harry? Harry's hilarious. One of my favorite characters.
Oh, really?
Harry Cunningham. Yeah. Because he's supposed to be a bit of a playboy.
A
or
ladies'
something
man,
like that.
yeah, for sure he is.
He doesn't quite look the part, but
Well,
there
like
are a lot
I
of
said, I
guys
think it
out
was
there who just...
I think it was the one season, the one episode that put this on the bottom. The one where Leo's family died. It was terrible. I mean, they relied on coincidences
Very bad.
way too much. You can't have, and that's probably what put these other ones down here too. There was just too many coincidences for me, and I was like, oh, that's garbage. So
like a bad Hardy Boy book or Nancy Drew's thing.
yeah, there can't be coincidences like that. So I don't know if you can remember some of the coincidences, but they were GD awful.
There we go, yeah. I'm not going to spell out what she means by GD, but maybe you can figure it out. No, it's typical of the Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys, they're driving down the road, the first chapter, they almost get run off the road by the, spoiler alert, in case you need it, by the person who ends up being the criminal.
Yeah, well, I can
what
remember.
What are the chances, right?
I can remember one of the things. So Leo, his family's died, and one of the daughter's friends comes over, and she wants to take some. He'd found some drugs in his daughter's room, and the friend wants to take the drugs out of the room, and so Leo's confronted the daughter. So you're looking, or the friend, and said, so you're looking for this, and the friend is like, I didn't want the police to find it or whatever. I don't want people thinking badly of her, whatever. And so then Leo gets some more information from her. Well, where did you get this, and where do you get, do you have fake IDs and whatever? And so, yeah, we got fake IDs, and why would you jump to that anyway, the fake ID thing? And then he goes to the place to get where they'd went to get fake IDs, because he's wanting to get them for himself or something like that, to try to catch these guys, because he somehow thinks why would he even think they have anything to do with this? And it doesn't make any sense. So, it's not like the car that crashed into the restaurant that killed his wife and daughter had fake IDs falling out of it or something like that, or a whole bunch of fake IDs in the trunk once they opened it or something. So there's no reason for him to even go that way. But yeah, it happens. These guys are responsible somehow, and it's like, what? How did that happen? Doesn't make any sense.
It's bad writing. It's a writer saying, how do I wrap this up?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'll use a coincidence to wrap it up in time.
But there were so many, and it was so bad.